Boy, oh boy. I normally don't even flip the microphone in audition anymore. Typically, I just kind of, go to work, talk to the boys on Discord and such. But this is a rare occasion. One of my friends, Aaron, is in a move right now. He's unable to watch this gameplay you're watching, Dice a Million. He gifted the game to me about a week or so ago. He's been watching me play. So, this is for you, Aaron. I've devised a flowchart. This is something I normally never even do when I flip a microphone. I kind of just ramble or like maybe have a predetermined script, but I think with a flowchart, I think I can be able to branch off and make things a little more related, but yet unrelated. Get it? Because of the title of the video. Anyways, so it is 5 in the morning. I do have to work in about 10 or so hours, but you know what? I don't really care. Just pulling a favor for somebody for a rare occasion. And today is March 14th, which is Pi Day. So if you're listening to this, get yourself a little pizza or something. Call up like a Domino's, Papillon, Walmart. Sorry, or even like a Pizza Hut. Thinking about it, yeah, I think I would prefer something like Pizza Hut. I think it's only because my mom used to work at a Pizza Hut when I was growing up. I was roughly about like maybe kindergarten going to first grade or whatever. I would have some memory of her working in like various restaurants in the area. It was Cracker Barrel, it was IHOP, and stuff like that. But then I would say I have the most fond memories at Pizza Hut because I was there. So yeah, I'd compete with the the reading quotas that Pizza Hut would have. I think it's it was the Book It program where you would have to read a certain amount of books and get like a free personal pan pizza. And it doesn't even have to be out of pocket, bro. It's free. My mom don't even got to take it out of her paycheck, brother. I read all those damn books like it was nobody's business, alright? I was on those books more than the modern day woman reading smut. Or, I don't know, the fantasy books. I don't even know, man. But not that kind of fantasy. Just regular, adventure fantasy, not the smut fantasy. But yeah, like, I would do the Book It every single time at Pizza Hut. Then I would probably help, like, fold pizza boxes when I was asked to, anyway. I was finishing my homework and such, just, chilling in the Pizza Hut, folding the boxes. You get like a free pan pizza or whatever, like a personal pan. It was a nice little time being at that Pizza Hut, so. I think also I have like another fond memory too, where like there was a huge party of people coming in and they brought in like a PlayStation 2 and they rolled out the TV that Pizza Hut has for the employee training because they would show like training videos instead of, being on a computer. So they did that. They rolled out that TV specifically for training, and they plugged in a PS2, and they had like Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi. It was so fun. It was a huge party, and I even was able to get a couple of rounds, and even though I got my fucking ass kicked as a 7-year-old. I mean, it's whatever, bro. You feel good beating a 7-year-old in a video game? Whatever, bro. I'll just go back to my Game Boy SP, or going back home on the GameCube, go to Blockbuster, get something to rent out for the weekend. I don't give a damn, bro. Give a fuck. But yeah, like fond memories of that pizza place, bro. But you know what? So ignore all. I wouldn't say ignore the pizza because it's Pi Day. Get your pizza, bro. Get your pan. Me personally. One more thing. Me personally, my favorite pizza to get nowadays is barbecue chicken. Throughout my entire life, I've like had several variants of like I was experimenting with pizza a lot. Of course, when you're a kid, you don't like all those ingredients. You're like, yeah, I just want a regular pizza, like a regular cheese. Wasn't a pepperoni kid. Wasn't like a ground beef on a pizza kid. None of that, dude. But as I've gotten older, I've started to appreciate stuff. Like I've started to appreciate the toppings on pizzas and such. So that's. I would experiment a lot, growing up in my middle school years, going into high school. Like the go-to pizza I would always get from like any pizza place in high school would always be like a ground beef and jalapeno pizza. It was always the go-to. Like, whenever we get it, I get my own box of ground beef and jalapenos. It was fire. Get some Parmesan, sprinkle that shit on there. It's my palate was so crazy as a kid because I didn't even like Parmesan cheese either, or even like the peppers, like the shredded peppers. But like I said, I grew up and experimented with pizza. And then in sometime when I was scouting out this art school in the Atlanta area, it was Art Institute before it went bankrupt. I went to this place like local to the area, had like a Hawaiian pizza. And then this is what, a lot of people would have contention for pineapple on pizza. And me personally, I like pineapple on pizza. But after trying like the Hawaiian pizza, I'm like, okay, this is good. Just take out the ham. The ham was too salty. I don't know why. Normally I would expect ham to be sweet, like the deli ham that you would get from a grocery store. I would expect something like that, but it was a little different for me. So it was like a sweet and salty kind of, and I was like, I'm not appreciating the salty. Maybe I should try something else with it. So I would do this crazy thing, right, where we get jalapeno and pineapple. I was like, whoo, spicy and sweet. Pfft, shit me, bro. Let's get it. Then in my adult years after, I would sometimes get jalapeno and pineapple if I'm really feeling crazy. But the go-to now is just a barbecue chicken pizza with onions, bro. Hands down, fire. Even in college, there's this place called Hungry Howie's. When I was in Orlando, like going to, college, Hungry Howie's would have this buffalo chicken pizza where it would have, buffalo sauce. It would have grilled chicken, regular mozzarella cheese. I was like, whew, this is actually really good. Somebody say, put this ranch on here. It'll make it 10 times better. Normally, I would even question the kids at the lunch table putting ranch on their fucking pizza. I'm like, bro, why are you putting ranch on marinara sauce, bro? It don't make no fucking sense. But that's neither here nor there. I put the ranch on the buffalo chicken pizza. Bro, it was amazing. So, I was like, okay, most places don't even sell the buffalo chicken pizza, right? So I see that they're offering stuff like barbecue chicken pizza with onions. I'm like, okay, I'll try that out. And I was like, yeah, this is good. Yeah, so it's normally my go-to. And then my recent trip in Massachusetts, I went over to Patrick's parents. They ordered pizza, and then one of them, his stepdad, ordered a shrimp scampi pizza. It was life-changing, dude. As soon as I took a bite into that pizza with the Alfredo sauce, well, not even Alfredo sauce, but it's typical sauce that you would use for shrimp scampi. Dude, it was life-changing. I literally said out loud, this is the reason why I'm staying alive right here. Now it's the second reason. Third reason. First reason was this cannoli from Universal that my former classmate and friend Xavier used to work at this restaurant. They serve cannolis. I was like, bro, this is the reason I live. Second, when I used to work for UPS, the sunrise, I used to be a sunrise shift 4 to 8 a.m. I would always see the sunrise on the airstrip, like on the active runway. I was like, damn, this is beautiful, bro. This is what I live for now. Number 3, it was that shrimp scampi pizza, bro. I don't think I can really find any other place I can top that place in Massachusetts. It's on the countryside. Anyways, but the safe go-to is barbecue chicken. And the same place that made that shrimp scampi made really good barbecue chicken as well. It was great. I don't know what's wrong with me, bro. I'm talking about pizza at 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh, God. Bro, I made fajitas last night. A few hours ago. I got home at 10 p.m. I was closing. I made fajitas pretty late in the evening with some shrimp fried rice. You telling me you shrimp fried this rice, brother? Yeah, he pretty much did. And he told me it would be in 10 minutes and 10 minutes. But yeah, I don't even know I'm thinking about pizza when I had dinner a few hours ago. So, fajitas were good. They're really good. Anyways, the barbecue chicken pizza is always a go-to, hands down, 10 toes, all 10 fingers, all 10 toes down, table and floor, automatically. Of course, I'm not afraid to experiment. Of course, I'm not a big fan of Supreme. Not a big fan. Only because of just the raw tomato and the shit. I'm like, bro, The fuck? I'll have a veggie pizza, don't get me wrong, but I'm not taking no fucking pizza with tomatoes on it. There's already tomatoes on it, bro. It's the marinara sauce. Why are you doing this to me, bro? Like, I'll take broccoli, I'll take spinach. I don't care, bro. That's fine. Even mushrooms, bro. I don't give a damn. I am questioning the olives, though. I don't think I want olives on my pizza. It's like raw tomatoes and fucking olives. No-go for me. But anything else, like, I'm willing to try out. Even shrimp, bro. Yeah, it was just ridiculous, bro. Like, the DiGiorno's, like, Supreme Pizza, bro. I was like, bro, this shit's ass. I took the toppings off, kept the pepperoni on that bitch. Bro, awful. And I'm still on the third point of my flow chart, but I'm going to move on. I'm going to move on from this, right? So, being that I'm here about 2 years later, it's pretty much set in stone that I'm not really going to be coming back full-time, let alone part-time. I'll make rare appearances. I'm doing air quotations. I'll make rare appearances here and there. You know, if I'm feeling, like, really creative, or if I'm just, like, in a really bad rut and I really need to distract myself, keep my plate full, then yeah, I'll do something here and there. But right now, I'm not even in a good situation to really be doing that right now because, like, I moved. I ain't gonna lie, I moved. But that's fine, you know. It is what it is, bro. Things happen, life happens, life changes. So, and the reason why I kind of, like, it's kind of just strayed away from that because I've been feeling okay. And then kind of just seeing how, you know, YouTube was pretty much shadow banning my channel with the, you know, age restrictions and multiple frustrations that I've dealt with in the past, with, like, copyright and, you know, DMCA and stuff like that. And I just wasn't really into, you know, getting back into the groove and that sort of thing. So I'm still kind of retired from this. I'll just make a rare appearance here and there if I feel like doing it, if I feel like making something. But now's not really not a good time. Just trying to, you know, enjoy, you know, what free time I have. Trying to connect with people a little bit more because I've got 3 jobs now. Kind of just keeping my plate full, and, you know, YouTube's not really my thing anymore. Not only that, like, I'm 28. Like, I had to pack it up at some point in time, right? The last time I uploaded, I was 25. No, I was 26 years old. Sorry about that. I was 26 years old. Just 8 months away from being 27. So, you know, I'm close to 30. I'm like, bro, I gotta pack this shit up, bro. I gotta hang the cleats, bro. Like, a lot of younger creators my age as well, they're doing okay for right now. They're kind of, you know, getting their foot into the door. Kind of like the new generation of creators I do tend to enjoy. I can't really list off the top of my head right now because I'm starting to get at that age now. I'm early Gen Z and such. But it's just this landscape of YouTube is just kind of not it for me, bro, because I look from the outside looking in now, and you see a lot of people in this industry are almost on par with Hollywood, right? And quite honestly, I want no part of that. I had prospects of being in the film industry, you know, getting out of high school and going into college, but you kind of deal with the same problems that you're seeing on the internet with a lot of fake people, a lot of performative shit going on. So it's just not for me, you know. It's just not worth rubbing shoulders with people, kind of just having fake niceties and such. It's just, I don't like that. I would say I'm very blunt. I learned that from my mother at times. I got that from my mother. Like, I'm blunt, and I usually talk when I need to or when I have to. Normally I kind of just step back and kind of just, like, I'm an ear. I don't like to yap, especially at my age. Like, beforehand, I used to yap all the fucking time, bro. But it's a whole different story now. You get older, you kind of realize, there's a time and place for just conversation and time and place for, you know, just talking. Sometimes you just need to shut the fuck up. And I usually just tell myself that. You just gotta shut the fuck up, bro. Most of the world's problems, you know, would be solved if a lot of people would just shut the fuck up. Yeah, it's a remedy, you know, but hey. I'm just, yeah. I think I'm just learning that a lot, you know, moving to the tri-state area now. Like, after being around so many people, I work security. Also, I am chief beer from the liquor store. You know, I come across a lot of people, and you kind of just pick up some lessons. You pick up some conversation, some life experience. You know, you get to hear a lot of great stories from a lot of people. At the security job, there's a lot of law enforcement, or even like retired law enforcement, who are just, you know, there to kind of just kick their feet up and have a, you know, chill gig, not have anything too stressful, you know. Now, like, don't get me wrong, it's a high pressure environment. I'm no stranger to that, but at the same time, I'm just like, you know, gotta stay calm, stay collected, and, you know, do the best you can, which, you know, it's the mentality I usually try to have most of the time. High pace, high stress environment, you know. So I get a lot to hear of, like, great stories from retired police officers, and sometimes, you know, state police would be there, kind of just, you know, in the perimeter with everybody, just, you know, being like backup, because when you're working in a stadium or like a venue, you know, you're typically not alone. You usually have backup. Granted, I haven't made a lot of connections working security, because I'm still kind of, you know, scoping out, you know, life, like quality of life here. But I still, you know, shoot the shit with people during downtime when they're not guests coming in. We don't have to check any bags and this sort of thing. We kind of just have a lot of downtime. We just shoot the breeze. That's where, like, I hear a lot of great stories. And then some guest interactions and customer interactions are fine too. Like, I have a lot of fun doing that. I'm typically kind of goofy if I'm really in the mood to be goofy. Otherwise, I just keep my head on a swivel and kind of just going from there. Like not earlier, but yesterday while I was working at the liquor store, guy, you know, just checking out, I was like, you find everything you need? He's like, yeah, everything's fine. And bro's like, dude, this weather's been changing a lot, because it's been pretty warm the last couple of days, and it dropped back down to, you know, 40s and 30s. And he was like, bro, what's going on with this weather, man? It was hot, and now it's cold. Shit's ridiculous, man. I was like, well, the spring just popping by for a visit, see how we were doing. See how everyone would feel if they just showed up out of the blue. He's like, you know what? I like that. I'm going to start using that. I even made a couple of, because like the guy was checking out, so, you know, when he was paying with card, our terminal, or one of the point of sale terminals, it takes its sweet ass time. So he's like, he's going to pay with card. I'm like, all right, it's going to take a second. It likes to be a little fussy. It likes to take his time. You know, he's like, okay. Yeah, funny guy. You're on a roll today. I was like, I'm on a roll. I got to go next door to the Dunkin' Donuts to get a roll. Am I right? Yeah. And then he just started laughing his way out the store. Told him to have a good weekend. It's, like I said, I like being goofy when I'm in the mood to do it, you know. Typically, if I'm sure you all have seen what I look like. I have a permanent scowl, or is what people call a resting bitch face. Trust me, I'm not I'm not dismissive, you know, like, I don't mind talking to strangers. It's just that I don't prefer to approach strangers and speak to them. So I mean, plus, like, I'm like really flexing my muscle every time I like raise my cheeks up, or like even raise an eyebrow or two. I'm just like, just staying relaxed, but it's a scowl. I don't know why. My parents warned me, or it's like, you gotta stop making that face, or else you're gonna get stuck like that. And they aren't lying. And, you know, Auntie was right. The reason you so sad is because you on that damn phone. Probably. Auntie was right, bro. But yeah, like life's been different. It's been cool ever since I've kind of let YouTube go and kind of let my past life in Atlanta go. There's still some things I'm gonna have to recollect soon. Make a couple of rounds, you know, kind of just check in on the people who I want to see. But that's really about it. You know, that life is now behind me. And so was this, you know, YouTuber, being creative kind of guy. A lot of people would ask me, because of my, like, whenever I turn on my webcam, or some people used to know that that I made videos and such, they're like, "You still doing this?" I'm like, "No, I've gotten too old, and it's just past my time to do it." But they always like encourage me to do it. I'm like, I'm just really not in the mood to do it. But yeah, would I go back if I had another chance of doing this? Not really. There are other options out there. You know, the sky's the limit. There are many options out there that you can take. And quite honestly, it takes a lot to make a change. When I've decided to move to the tri-state area, it was purely based off of one visit, and that's to New England. And I was like, I'm missing a lot. I've never gone west. The most west I've been was Alabama, and that's really about it. And I didn't really decide to make a change then. But honestly, after going to New England, I'm like, there's a lot more to see. There's a lot more that meets to the eye than me sitting in front of two screens with, whatchamacallit, temperature adjusted glasses, the way I don't get, you know, blue screen shenanigans going on in my retinas. Yeah. So it was that one trip that kind of just made me go, yeah, I think this is what I want to do. I kind of just want to drop everything and get out of here, which I eventually did. Slowly, you know, got into the process of getting a new address, getting a license. Well, you know, I'm still getting my license. I have a permit, but that's neither here nor there. You know, I'm just so used to public transit too. Like, I just, I have no reason to just get up and just get in a car. I'm like, yeah, there's buses, there's trains. Like, I can budget my time well. It's not an issue with me. Hell, even like when I work at the liquor store, I don't drive. I just walk because it's right there, bro. It's like a 20-minute walk. That's manageable, right? Psst, ain't bad. It's like a good mile. Yeah. But hey, it is what it is, bro. It's cool. Yeah. But would I go back if I had a chance? No. No. Like I said, there's a lot more to explore. There's a lot of options out there. I know it can be tough when you're in that mindset of like, I don't think I can go anywhere right now with the state of where I'm at right now, my position. But it is possible. You will have to leave a lot of things behind, a lot of emotional ties, belongings, that sort of thing. You know, there's things that you can probably only carry on your back. Your emotional ties, you can't really always carry on your back. You gotta, you know, find new connections elsewhere when it's not working out. And quite honestly, I don't think the connections I've made are just gone. Like, I would say I have about a good handful of Georgia folks left who I wouldn't mind go seeing if we all have the time to do it, which, you know, I do in a heartbeat if I had the time. But still got more life to build, which is, I would say, is fine. I know it'll probably sit with Aaron too, who's watching this, because he also had to. Well, he's definitely moved several times. You know, he had a humble home life in Tejas, moved to New England, and then recently made the change again after finding greener pastures. So, he's kind of like a nomad. I'm not a nomad, but I will only do it when it's necessary. That's only it. I moved out of Atlanta for necessity, for the sake of just kind of getting a better quality of life. Because I don't see myself being there for another 20, 30 years. Couldn't do it. Sorry. No, it's just not me, bro. Not a big fan of that. But about this game, Dice a Million, there you see a lot going on here, but the most important factor here in this game is definitely your rings, and your multiplier for sure. Normally, I always pick multiplier rings, and it's mainly because I can be able to at least go over the necessary blind, as I call it. I played a lot of like Balatro and such, and stuff like that. Even like Nubby's Number Factory as well. I played a lot of like roguelike number games, gambling. I don't even know why. But I always stick with the multiplier. And then of course you see the other dice rolling down. It's just extra support to kind of just increase the multiplier and increase our base as well. Because that's another important lesson. Always build your base and also your mult. That's like a basic kind of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater lesson there. You always want to go for base building and then get multiplier later. So yeah, like I just worked on that principle and applied it to this game here, Dice a Million. You'll see me get further and further into each face because there are 6 faces. Then apparently there's like a final boss. I normally don't even reach past phase 3 because I usually turn in all my dice and call it a day. But being that you saw me buy 3 separate pieces for 1 die, in which I have to return back to my boss, you'll see that. Or you've probably already seen it. I'm not watching the gameplay as I'm talking because I'm just talking in an audition. I'm just, taking a guess here, taking a stab in the dark. I build up the dice, and I face the final boss eventually, as you'll see, as I talk. But most important thing is always just keeping your molten rings and building as much base score as possible. That way you can be able to get away with doing, because like with the static hand, you get a random dice hand, or even like a dice bag. It's not always, in your favor, but if you keep trying enough, you can be able to like get it down. So that's that. Yeah, I would say that's that for like Dice a Million. I took maybe at least another 4 runs before reaching this final run here for the evening, which I completed around 4 in the morning, which was an hour ago as I'm recording this. But yeah. So anyways, in terms of the future, I really don't know what I see for right now, because I'm kind of just focusing on the now. Like, I've been too retroactively like thinking about the past too much, and that's what kind of just bums me out a lot, because I'm just like, I think if I had a better mindset back then, it's just like, yeah, things will be great. No, just gotta focus on the now. I normally don't think about the future that much because, I guess anxiety comes from the future. Depression comes from the past, and I'm 14 and this is deep kind of thing. Of course, as you live in the present, you tend to get burned while you cook. So, you always got to be willing to go back into the kitchen and start cooking again. Which, I'm fairly capable of always burning myself. Don't get me wrong, I always get burned. But I'm never afraid to go back to that stove. Be like, what's up, man? You gonna challenge me today, brother? Every small step matters. Every small step matters for that. And then a lot of people have been telling me I've been getting a lot of wisdom as I've gotten older. I'm like, it's... what wisdom, bro? Like, I'm still young. And I've heard some YouTube channels say this, but when you're in your 20s, you're kind of useless right now. You're still kind of figuring out your footwork and figuring out your place right now. It's not wisdom in a sense of like, oh, I know everything. No, it's just like, I'm cautious, but it's an inherent thing that we have as human beings. It's like, it's an instinct, you're being cautious. But another thing too, thinking about it now, I hate the power level here. Dude. So this one time I was getting a haircut, and then a barber tends to notice I'm getting a lot of gray hairs. He's like, "How old are you, man?" I was like, "I'm 27." He's like, "Bro, you getting wise on me, man? Why you got so much gray hair?" Oh, I didn't realize I was getting that much gray hair, dude. It's in a lot of places in my head right now. Like, it's just spread around. And then I realized, like, I think it's just my genes, bro, because I think my mom was also graying around my age, 28. I think it just happens with our genes. It's not wisdom or anything like that. Some would say stress too, but I usually I would have stressful situations, but it's not to the point where I'm like suffocating from it. I'm like, dude, this is a bummer, That's really about it. Like, I'm trying to be the chill guy, the chill dog that you would see like on memes, but that's pretty old now. Memes. Jeez, bro. I don't even think people call it that anymore. They start calling it brain rot or like stimming. Which, call it what you will, but it's still a form of memetics, memes, the meme economy and such. I think that's just my old way of thinking. Who knows? Future's now, Grandpa 6'7". Oh, jeez. Yeah. I'm gonna lose my mind. I should be heading to bed soon, but you know what? I don't care, bro. You know why? Because we're doing a favor, and I like doing favors here and there. And I usually don't even expect much when doing a favor. I just do it, call it a day. Unlike iDubbbz, I'm actually stoic without talking about it so damn much. So yeah, I'll have some horrible situations, some undesirable situations, but you know what? I don't complain, bro. Just gotta make it work. Gotta work with cards you have on the table, bro. You gotta work with what you have. And if you don't got it, then that's cool, bro. Just don't write checks you can cash, bro. Oh, jeez, bro. A lot of people used to watch on YouTube fell off so damn hard, bro. And that's, thank God I didn't have like a peak or even a precipice of my quote-unquote YouTube career. It's a good thing I didn't reach that, because I don't even think like someone like me could handle that responsibly at 18 going on to early 20s. I don't think anybody like me would be able to responsibly handle that, because quite honestly, the idea of fame is ass. I really don't even want it, bro. The idea of clout, take that shit somewhere else, bro. I don't want it, bro. I don't even care for recognition anymore. I just want to keep my head down and kind of just focus on what I can control and what difference I can make. Sounds about right, right? I would say so, right? But some people think big, which, if you can do it, then good on you, I guess, Were you on a fucking medal or something, pal? What do you think, you're a fucking octopus with all these arms and shit, you can do that? Another thing, moving to the tri-state, I pick up a lot of funny phrases from people. This one security guy I used to work with, he's a former police officer. He's retired. He was like a lieutenant, and he would always like he's very observant, obviously, because being a cop you have to be observant. This one, like, he said this, like, one guy's coming up and he's like, bro, look at this fucking guy. This guy's coming up all shitty looking, like he rolled out of bed with his fucking puffball hat, shirt barely even ironed. He looks like a fucking soup sandwich. And I don't even know why that got me, but it just did. It just stuck with my head ever since he said it. You look like a fucking soup sandwich. This is why I love Italians, bro. Italians are great, especially up north, bro. They're funny. But of course, don't talk to Italians with a chip on your shoulder. Obviously, don't do that. Don't go anywhere with a chip on your fucking shoulder, bro, because it's just not gonna end well. You know, that's why I don't even like do that, right? I don't go anywhere with a chip on my shoulder, being like the biggest fucking guy in the room. Like, yeah, sure, I'm big in stature, you know, I'm a big fucking guy, right? But I'm not gonna sit here, you know, walk in somewhere into an establishment thinking I'm fucking big boss man #1. No thanks, pal. That's not from me. Like I said, I like to keep my head on a swivel and sometimes keep it down. That's it. Keep it moving. Keep it moving, pal. I'm fucking walking here. Yeah, it's infected me now. I don't know why. Damn. Yeah, but I still got that, you know, southern hospitality or whatever, you know. I may have left the South, but the South never left me, bro. Yeah, I still drink iced tea. You know, I enjoy barbecue. I enjoy barbecue. I still drink iced tea. Think I'm an imposter? Yeah, I was born a Yankee, but I still lived in the South my whole life, bro. Whatever, man. It is what it is, man. Now, granted, this gameplay, this whole run is about 41 minutes long, and I've been yapping for a very long time. This is such a long time to be yapping unfiltered, and I think I've gone through my entire flowchart, and that's, let me count it: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I had 9 topics on my flowchart, and I've gone through all of them within 36 minutes. Of course, I've branched off into other things. But I kind of kept it on track, which, you know, the idea of a flowchart is not bad, but, not a good speaker. No, can keep each topic for, you know, longer than, you know, 5 to 10 minutes. And I kind of just branch off. I can even feel my throat getting scratchy for talking this fucking long. Like, I don't really exercise my voice. I don't exercise my vocal cords as much as I used to when I was doing YouTube for those, let's see, gaming YouTube, 2012 to 2024, 12 years. And like, once you're out of the game, you're out of the game. You know, there's no really going back. Kind of just move on to something different. And it goes with anything, really. It doesn't even have to be YouTube. You know, whether it be just you do something and you've kind of just been away from it for so damn long. You're like, do I want to do this today? Do I want to get back into it? No, not really, because I'm going to be rusty. You know, all that shines turns to rust. All that stands to time turns to dust, like Zach Wilde said in Black Label Society. Yeah, there's no reason to really get back into this, bro. Except for the, you know, occasional, you know, yap session or whatever. Hell, I made like a secret channel where I talked about like the state of YouTube. Granted, I didn't even render the audio correctly. It was like a very low frequency, so it sounded like I was talking through like a fucking water cup. It was funny, so I just kept it in there. I was like, damn, I made so many compelling points, but this audio is so fucking ass, bro. This is why I'm not going back to this shit, bro. No shot. No way. No, couldn't do it. No, thanks. But yeah, like, it's like, once you get away from it for so long, man, how do you do it? Do you just make small steps? Absolutely, sure. You know, you gotta crawl before you walk, right? But if I'm doing this, I'm not crawling no more, man. I just sat up from my coffin and see what was going on. I was like, hey, folks, just chilling, you know. I have a pulse here, but I'm just laying down on the slab, bro. I'm chilling, bro. But yeah, as you can see, this is the final boss. Kind of just breaking down his, you know, his dice, because he's been fucking me up a little bit, bro. But it's, yeah, I don't even know, man. I'm surprised I even survived overall, but That's cool, bro. Yeah, so I beat the game. Oh, I don't even know. Like I said, this was impromptu. I didn't even think I would make it to phase 6 after making all 3 dice. I was like, bro, this is insane. No shot, bro. And in order to get all 3 dice pieces, you'd have to, like, you know, buy it from each face and then complete your run. So buying that 3rd final piece of the dice, bro, insane. Didn't think I would get that far. I got lucky, but overall, I would say it's been a good run. I had some, you know, prior experiences through different hands and such, but regardless, yeah, Dice a Million, bro, fun game. And Aaron, if you're listening to this, happy Pie Day. Get a pizza after doing all that fucking moving. Everyone else, get a pizza. Enjoy whatever flavor you got, bro, because, you know, life is short. You gotta enjoy all your shit. You know, enjoy your niceties, bro. So, that's my yap session. I'll see you probably, I don't know, in another year. I don't know. Enjoy yourself, bro. You know, stay chill. See ya.